Good evening, brothers and sisters. Tonight I will talk about the subject written by Father Rolheiser, again from Catholic Register, the binding power of hatred. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be lost in heaven. We know the works of love. Does it also work for hatred? Can someone hatred follow us even into eternity? In her recent novel Payback, Mary Gordon poses that question. Her stories centers two women, one from whom Agnes has heard and the other is Heidi. The hurt has been unintentional and accidental, but it has been deep, so deep for both women it stayed like poison inside of their souls for next 40 years. The story traces their lives for these 40 years, in which they never see each other, don't even know each other's whereabouts, but remain obsessed with each other, one nursing a heart and the other guilt about the heart. The story eventually culminates with the Hades seeking out Agnes to confront her for some payback. And the payback is hatred, and ugly, pure hatred, coarse, promised to last until the death. Entrusting of Agnes will never be free from the rest of her life. Agnes does not know what to do with that hatred, which it dominates her world and poisons her happiness. She wonders if will also color her eternity. Her last meeting with Heidi had troubled her belief in the truth of the ties of love. Because of love went somewhere after the death, where then was a hate. She had understood in Heidi's case that it was the other side of the coin of love. Even after the death would Hades hated follow her, spoiling her eternity, the cracked note in the harmony, the dark spot of the radiance. Since the Heidi had some back in her life, Agnes had, for the first time, been truly afraid to die. She had made herself believe that the love of those who loved her would surround her always, keeping her from the hatred and ugliness that Heidi had done her. She had believed otherwise. The otherwise was too unbearable, even the name. French philosopher Gabriel Marcel correctly stated, to love someone is to ensure this person can never be lost, that he or she, as long as the love continues, can never go to hell. But that love, the others, is connected beyond, always into the family of love, and ultimately to the circle of love inside of God. However, this is the truth then too for hatred. Uh, if someone hates you, can that touch your eternity and contaminate some of joy of heaven? If someone loves can hold you for all eternity, can someone's hatred do the same? This is not an easy question. Binding and losing, as Jesus spoke of it, work both ways, with love and with the hatred. We free each other through the love and constrict each other through the hatred. We know that from experience at the deep place inside of intuit its gravity. This is why so many people seek reconciliation on their deathbeds, wanting as their last wish not to leave this world unconciled. But sad fact, sometimes we do not live this life unconciled, with hatred following us into grave. Does it also follow us in eternity? The choice is ours. If we meet the hatred with hatred, if we follow, will follow us to eternity. On other hand, if we on the other part seek reconciliation as much as possible, particularly essentially, then that hatred can no longer bind us, that cord will be broken from our end. Leo Tolstoy once said, "There is only one way to put the end to evil, that is to do good for the evil." We see that in Jesus. Some hated him, and he died like that. However, that hatred lost in the powers over him because he refused to respond in the kind. Rather, he turned love for hatred, understanding for misunderstanding, blessing for curse, graciousness for assessment, fidelity for rejection, and forgiveness for murder. But that takes a rare, incredible strength. In Marcel's affirmation that is love someone, that person can never be lost. There is a chaos implicated, namely that the other does not willingly reject our love and chooses to move outside of it. The same holds true for hatred. Another person's hatred hold us, but only if we meet it with our own terms, hatred for hatred. We cannot make someone stop hating us, but we can refuse to hate him or her. At that moment, hatred loses the power to bind and punish us. Granted, for us is easy, certainly and emotionally. Hatred tends to have sick, devilish grip on us, paralyzing in us in every strength. We need to let it go. In that case, there still is another salvic thing remaining. God can do the things for us we cannot do for ourselves. Thus, in the end, Julian Norwish teaches us and us and our faith in God, compassion, understanding, let us know, and will still be hatred, not withstanding. So, beautiful article. Let us return love instead of hate, understanding for misunderstanding, and let us follow Jesus. This has a lots of influence in our Orthodox Christian life. May God bless you. Amen.